I did not want to go to Terezín, but I will forever be grateful to Helen Hoffenberg for making the arrangements and for the gentleness of her invitation to make the trip. At first I declined the invitation, making some feeble excuse of having previous plans. I thought that I had defined the borders of my Judaism long before and simply didn't want to explore that aspect of my own ancestry. It wasn't fear, it wasn't denial, or was it? But by that time, my project had found me and it simply would not let me not go. And it all got very personal for me at Terezín. I wasn't surprised. It had been building for days. Though I had left Judaism behind years before, I was coming to understand that I had not given my Jewish heritage the respect it deserved. It was time to give that respect. I remember standing before this scene in silent reverence. In tears, actually. Just to the left of this cemetery is a crematorium where 4 industrial-sized ovens were used to dispose of those who had died in this camp. 4 ovens, arranged for the efficient disposal of death, automated with mechanical rollers to guide a corpse in one end and to deliver a small metal container of ash out the other. I had just come from the crematorium. I was deeply shaken by its heartless industrialization of genocide, and as I walked in the silence of my thoughts towards the cemetery where unknown numbers of fathers, mothers, children, friends, neighbors, artists, writers, musicians, and others who perhaps had once laughed together and worked together and provided comfort to each other, probably incapable of imagining the horror that would sweep them away to a fate that we still can hardly imagine possible. I felt, for the first time in my life, a deep and moving connection to their fate and to their faith. At that moment, I accepted the shame of having consciously avoided coming face to face with the horror of their fates. Standing there looking at this silent and ironically peaceful place, I thought of the shameless lack of interest I have had in my own lost family, most of whom had passed beyond access long before I had developed sufficient interest in knowing their stories. And now, like those who lay before me in unmarked graves, the stories are lost. Was it coincidence? Later that afternoon, upon returning to our hotel in Prague, I did something I had not done for the entire trip. I flipped on the television to catch some news, and as it happened, the television was already tuned to CNN, and the story being reported was that 2 days earlier, actor Mel Gibson had been arrested for drunk driving, and during the arrest, in an obscenity-laden rage, he had informed the world that the Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. Am I the only one who worries that what passes for tolerance and acceptance is too often little more than a very flimsy truce